Hi everyone, good morning. Hope y'all are doing really good. We're back on a fabulous Friday, another Fresh Face Friday. Today we are doing another Monster Punched. This one is Mad Dog. This one's of course done by Dub. Let's get this going here. Purple grape drink. Oh, that is really, really purple. Did not realize that. Tasted the grape Kool-Aid I had as a kid. I make jokes about that in winter. Red drink and grape drink. Yeah. Okay, that one's pretty tasty. That one, let me see. Doesn't have as many juices as the other one did. Doesn't have any of the juices that the other one did. 110 calories per serving, 2 servings per can, so this is 230, which doesn't make any sense unless it's, the 0.5 or whatever, but yeah. Anyway, a purple drink. I'm trying to be good, it's my only vice. Alright, so yesterday I asked a couple people, to tell me their stories. Today is September 11. In 2001, there was attacks on the World Trade Center in Washington, D.C., and of course we all know about Flight 93. It was a day that changed all of us. And a couple people sent me their stories. I'll tell you mine first. I was 15. It was my sophomore year, and my brother and I were getting ready to leave to go catch the bus. And we're literally walking out the door, and the phone rang, and my mom gasped, was, "Oh my God!" And Andy and I just froze, because we knew that wasn't good. And she turned around and turned on the TV, and just in time for us to see the second plane hit the second tower. And we watched it for a few minutes, and they flashed back to the Pentagon, and then it was back and forth between the two. And we were we didn't know how to react. This is so much shock to your system and overloaded. And yeah. And we made sure to tell our mother and our youngest brother that we loved them that day. And then we went out to our bus stop and talked to the people at the bus stop with us. And we started getting on the bus, and my bus driver looks at me and goes, "What's wrong with you?" And I told him. And he looks at me and goes, "You're kidding me, right?" I said, "No." And no one else on the bus knew, so we told the people on the bus. And at the next few bus stops, parents who normally would just leave their kids there were waiting with their kids that day. And bus driver talked to them, and we got to school, and even though it was a K-12 school, it was still pretty quiet. It was pretty quiet. And I remember meeting up with my best friends. I was with Melinda and Alicia and a couple others, and just watching. That's when we learned about Flight 93 in the field. And the TVs and news were on all day. Nothing was going to get done. The teachers knew. And I remember watching the towers fall at school, and I remember not being able to react, because there was always that little bit of hope, that okay, they'll still get out, they'll still get out, they'll still get out, and then they didn't. And I remember just sitting there staring at TV going, "Oh wow, oh my gosh," and people like, what? And they looked at the TV, and none of us could react. And it changed a lot of stuff that day. A lot of us were young and impressionable, people my age, slightly older, slightly younger. A lot of us people went and joined the military. Yeah, so that is my story. A couple others. My youngest brother, he says, "I was sitting at home before school. We were on the way out the door when Mom got the call and the gasp and turned on the TV. I watched live as the second plane hit the tower, and I watched live as both towers fell. I was late for school that day." My friend Alicia says, "I was with you at school freaking out that Armageddon was starting. I remember we both called our parents trying to get out of school that day. Failed attempts at playing hooky. Spawned an awesome friendship." My friend Beverly, she says, "I was commuting back then in San Jose, living in Mesa. I was supposed to fly that morning, but changed my flight to the 12th so I could go to Sean's open house at Rhodes that evening. My regular flight would have been in the air when the towers hit, so I would have been stuck in Burbank, where I normally would have changed planes. Needless to say, I was grounded in Mesa, and when flights started back up, I was on the first day to go back to work. There was a handful of people on the flight, and a U.S. Marshal, and nobody said a word on the flight. It was eerie. 3Com, my employer, set me up to work more from home after that. Hopping on a plane like you do, a bus was over that day, after that day. Sean and I watched the towers come down that morning, and I was so thankful to be at home with him. That's a big deal, is to actually, you were super grateful for your family after that day. Stacy says, I was in treatment in Omaha, Nebraska, and that's where we have the underground warheads that they were going to send the president to us. I remember thinking, why do they keep rewinding the movie? And that's how I found out that they hit the towers. And then my Uncle Frank, let me see, pull up his. He says, I was doing paperwork as a concrete superintendent, listening to the KTAR when the story broke. And it didn't seem possible. The rest of that day was a blur. His daughter, one of my good friends, is my age. We're actually only literally like 7 days apart. No, 14 days or so apart. And that was a big deal then. But there's loss that we can't grasp. And there's stuff that we just don't understand. You know, I didn't lose anybody in the 9/11 accidents. I didn't lose anyone there. I knew a lot of people that joined the military after that, and people who had been in the military when that happened, and I didn't lose anybody, and I'm always grateful that I have my family and I have my friends, and you know, there's loss that I'm not going to understand. But just so on this anniversary, it just emphasized, tell your loved ones that you love them. And I mean, we have no idea how privileged we are here. Really, even though life is tough, we have no idea how amazing it is that we can just get on a bus and go to work or go to a movie. You know, we can go worship wherever or choose not to worship wherever and have that freedom. You know, as a woman, a white woman, I can go get an education, I can have a job, I can do all these things, I can go anywhere I want by myself. And it's not a deal. It's normal, it's to be expected. You know, if someone would try to hinder that right for me, it would cause a problem. It caused a problem for any woman here. And it's just appalling, the state that, you know, we're so unaware of how great we have it. So, feel free to share your stories below, the where were you, whatever, and how it's impacted your life. I mean, you know, just don't get nasty, people. There's no need. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I got for you guys. Back to my dub drink. I don't know why I keep saying it's dub. It's dub edition. Dub edition. But that's all I got for you guys today. Know that I love you, and I'll talk to all of you later. Bye.